like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And we're continuing our series of really examining Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. You know, because the first season, it just happened too quickly. Like, I came in, I expected to like it, right? I heard people go, oh, bloody woman, not going to watch it. And I was like, oh, those bigots, those stupid bigots. Oh, no, I'm not on board with that. They're all right, and I was wrong, right? Everybody basically thought this was a sign of, the world gone mad. Welcome home. They were all right. All the naysayers were completely true. However, when it started, I looked at it with a positive eye. I looked at it with trying to look at it as positive as possible. And I overlooked the really shockingly low quality in writing, and it's shocking. And you really got to pause and look at it to see how stupid and how bad and how badly done and how much technical skill it actually lacks. And then you're able to tell what they're really trying to do with these things. And it's never anything very good, right? Never anything very good. So this story, Demons of the Punjab, we're going to talk about it in quite a lot of detail in the review. There's a much more informative review. I can't remember. I'll put the link in the video notes. There's a much more informative review which comes from a great deal of knowledge, right? A knowledge of the British partition of India. In a nutshell, it seems to be a reason. The point of the episode is to say that the white male patriarchy is bad, and this is one bad thing the white male patriarchy did. I know nothing about this, right? I know nothing about this. However, I do know there were lots and lots of people killed in the hundreds of thousands or millions. It could have been literally millions. How were they killed? By this partition? It caused racial strife, and two groups of people rioted and murdered each other. And again, this is from pure ignorance, right? And the reason it become pure ignorance is one of the things I used to educate myself about this is this episode, which has no educational value whatsoever because it's not interested in education. It's not interested at all, and it really could have been, right? But if they had an honest approach to this, they would have to tell two sides of the story, right? And you'll notice they do that in pretty much everything. Everything now. Big Finish, for example, they one of the last halfway listenable Colin Baker stories they did, and there haven't been many of the last couple of years, was a story where at the end of World War II, where it showed the naughty National Socialists as human beings, as normal human beings, right? And how they got caught up in it. They didn't give the same the same consideration to the people living in America in the 1950s in Rosa, right? But everybody gets to be a human being apart from people they want to demonize, which is what this is all about, right? That's why it's all so confused. That's why there's no education there. That's why they don't explain what's going on. If this was a David Tennant episode, he would have explained it in a couple of sentences as they're walking along. But Chibnall doesn't have. Well, Vinny Patel wrote this, but Chibnall just doesn't have the skill to pull that out, and Whittaker clearly doesn't have the skill to act. Oh my God. A video I recorded today was he did an interview. Christian did an interview for the Radio Times. When did that go out? That's going out on Friday, right? He did an interview at Radio Times. And at one point, he calls Whittaker one of the greatest actors of her generation. Really? Like, dude. I've seen Doctor Who, right? I watched like every episode, and I watched this one she's terrible. She's absolutely terrible and quite befitting of the scripts. But I'm still have those words ringing in my ears from Piers Wenger. I think he said this before season 11, or maybe during season 11 when it was really crashing. He said, "Well, no, we're not going to rest it. It doesn't matter how bad it's doing. Editorially, it's in fantastically good shape." And now we see what that means, because they wanted to editorialize. They wanted to teach you that white man bad. Why they want to teach you white man bad? Because white men voted for Brexit and white men voted for Donald Trump, and those things were the worst things in the world Turned out the worst things in the world was not doing that. As we found, if you notice the world famine, coming your way, or the war, or the inflation, or any other fantastic things that's going on, the world's not doing well. Let's be fair, the world's not doing well. But anyway, that's really the whole basis behind this turgid episode again, but it's worth watching with a fine tooth comb. So next week there will be no episode because next week there will be. Will there be one? I might we'll do a deep dive into Legend of the Sea Devil instead. I don't know. That's tomorrow. Tonight is the night before Jodie. Who knows what evil will stalk our stream. The amazing thing is though, the stuff they do now is a lot better than the stuff they were doing then when they were getting better ratings and more plaudits, right? But it's still awful. The stuff they do now is awful. Just not as unbelievably awful as the stuff we're about to see. Okay, before we get into it, can you hit the like button, the share button, certainly the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. My subscriptions are in the toilet. YouTube, not my biggest fan. They give me a platform, thank you very much, not my biggest fan. So please hit the subscribe button. If you can sign up to my Substack as well, that'd be lovely. Absolutely lovely. If you want to sign up to my paid Substack, I think that goes beyond lovely. I think that goes to, thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. And now, without further ado, let me hand over to a beautiful and intelligent and I would say somewhat sexy human being. Who am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about me! Yeah, it's Doctor. Oh, God. And that's really the energy that you get with the Jodie Whittaker Doctor, especially by now. You're 6 episodes in. This is really the energy you get. It's like, oh, God, another one. Man, what's the name? Legend of the Sea Devils is going up against Britain's Got Talent. It's going to get slaughtered. Oh, my God, it's going to get slaughtered. So that's really the energy of going into this. And again, looking at this with a cold eye, with like knowing its narrative tricks, you can see very clearly what's going on. This is not made to educate about the partition, which is actually a very interesting subject in history. This is made to complain about white patriarchy. Why do I say that? Because it doesn't educate about the partition at all. It really does. That's why I found so confusing. My brain kind of glossed over it. But it's so confusing. But then you realize it doesn't educate about partition at all, which is shocking. It expects you to know everything about it and share the point of view. But then me, in my ignorance, I have a bunch of questions that I think quite reasonable, right? Anyway, so we start with no cold opening and it's awful. Oh God! Whoosh! Jamie Charles, and he wasn't very good, as I recall. Jamie Charles, whoosh! And I do the only bit of the time I didn't get it when it speeds up with this. You get little vortex, it speeds up when it goes whoosh. That's actually quite good. Boo! Demons of Punjab. And boy, mate, you should be ashamed of yourself, Vinay Patel, right? Vinay Patel expects you to know about this, expects you to know about it well, and expects you to share his point of view, right? So I get the feeling he's giving propaganda, right? I think if we're talking about the partition of Palestine, which was designed to kill the Jews. So essentially, the partition was like a thing that they did, right? So the partition of Palestine is when the partition of anything is when you have the British watching over some territory, and you have two people killing each other within it. They said, "Okay, well, you go over there. You go over there. No, we're British. This was better than Tegan. No, I would much rather sleep with Tegan. Excuse me. I hate to remonstrate in the tat there, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. We disagree. This is the emergency stop. This was, I have to tell you, I would way more sleep with Tegan. Absolutely. Although I imagine this is a bit freakier. Anyway, I don't. Well, okay. Perry is still the number one, darling. Don't worry. So what was I? He was a bunch. Yeah. So so if he was doing a story about the partition of Palestine, I imagine he would portray the Jews as being sneaky and evil, right? Because that's the point he wants to make. So it's not about education at all. It's really not about education at all. It's about finger wagging at you. So fine, we start in it's when we went to the Tyler estate, right? Jackie, was it not the Tyler? Where they stay? Where was it? Where the Tylers lived? Wherever the estate, the Tylers. It was magical. I like that. It was just fun, right? It was fun. It made me smile. Right, this just feels so dour to me. Right, it just feels so incredibly dour. So anyway, so we start here. We're in where is it? Where we are? We're in Yaz's flat, right? And Yaz's with her grandmother, and it's her birthday. And they say she's I was the first woman married in Pakistan, and a first woman working in a textiles factory, in Sheffield. So it was some really stupid first, right? And then you see a picture of her with marrying her husband before they came to Sheffield, right? And okay, one second. Oh, fine. So then she's giving away these presents, and she gives this flower to her one granddaughter, Yaz's sister. Yaz's slightly more attractive, less annoying sister, and then she gives this broken watch to her. Again, look at her smug face, to her favorite granddaughter. Yeah, why is she ever I don't understand. Right, I haven't seen anything likable or competent about this person ever. Perry's overrated. Really? I have to respectfully disagree with you on that one. Perry is always underrated, right? So she's giving these things away at her birthday. And she says, "Why is it broken, Nan? Oh, what's the story?" I said, "Oh, I don't want to talk about it, right? Oh, tell me why." "No, I won't tell you why now." Okay, and so she's like, "Oh, I bet there's a bit of a story." And it's obvious these things have a meaning that are going to be resolved at some point in this stupid episode, right? She said, "Oh, nah, I want to hear your stories. Tell us." Says, "Oh, you're too young. Maybe when you're older." She looks like she's in her 30s. Is she supposed to be 16? I don't understand, right? I do not understand at all. So then it becomes very clear the next bit is a bit of a rip-off of Father's Day. She goes to the doctor, "Oh, Icky Thump, doctor. Oh, help me, doctor. My soul says, oh, I'm so sad." "Why are you sad?" "Oh, Icky Thump, why are you sad, Yaz?" I'd love to have Vic and Bob do the voiceover. It would be so funny. And so it's she's working on something in the TARDIS. And says, "Oh, there's a story here. I would love to not know about it." And she's like, "Oh, but I can't. It's too dangerous. Oh, I want to know the story." I said, "Oh, okay then, Icky Thump." And she said, "Why does she play this doctor as an unheroic moron? I just don't understand. Look at this." Okay, fine. So she eventually, after making a bunch of stupid faces, says, "Okay, I'll take you then. I'll take you." And go boom. So they arrive. I wonder where they shot this. It looks like the same place they shot the frog episode. Oh God, that's coming up. Help me, man. This was such a bad season, right? This was such an insanely bad season. Fine. So they arrive. I think nice cinematography though. I have to nice. So out she comes, and it's they come out. They're in India, and it's total propaganda, right? It's all this spiritual music. Oh, it was so spiritual and peaceful. Oh, I'll go this way. She's just being shit. They say, "Oh, I'm readings, right?" And the one thing goes, "Oh, I felt something weird," and she goes, "Weird thing, weird. Oh, a key thump. What's that? I don't want to understand. What's that? Help me." And like, what? Like, why don't you understand anything, right? Like, why does everything take you by surprise? And then they meet this bloke and said, "Oh, hello, I'm on my way to get married. Yeah, can I come with?" Oh no, they asked for. This is a really stupid thing. Both these main characters have very similar names. They're looking for her name's Umbri, and they call her Bryn, right? And we're looking for Bryn. She's of a family from near here. He said, "Well, come with me. He knows exactly where it is, and he'll take her there, right?" Okay, yeah, I'm a nice, friendly person. Oh, there's something weird happening here. We got to keep our eyes open, right? And then they meet a holy man on the way, and it's all, "Oh, you're so peaceful, you're spiritual." He says, "Oh no, I'll walk. I am but a humble man. I will walk because I'm so holy." And off they go. But no, evil aliens stare. They see a man walk away. Meanwhile, they arrive at Umbri's house, and again, it's just like, oh, these are good spiritual. Peaceful people, right? And then, "Oh, you're Umbri, your family. Oh, so good to see you." And then she hugs her, right? Isn't that kind of somewhat dangerous, right? I mean, aren't you like kind of interfering with the time stream? No, okay. "Oh, hello, how you doing?" Now, Graham, I will point out, Graham has some very doctory moments in this episode, right? He is absolutely the Doctor character, and it's so weird. Like, but I think what's going on is Chris Chibnall's a moron and a coward, and he can't tell like Vinay Patel, "No, you can't do this or that because his skin color's brown." Right? I think that's entirely why, right? Which is why he's writing this episode. So he's very confused why she's here. Mother, she thought he lived in a city, not on the farm, right? So like, oh, I don't really understand what's going on. So they come in and they're getting married today, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" And it turns out they're getting married, right? They're getting married tomorrow. And he said, "But that's not my grandfather. I don't understand." And his brother comes out and visits it, and they see the watch, the famous watch. As they hug. And he looks at her and they share looks. Oh, beautiful looks. Again, this all seems like it's terribly dangerous and pointless, like you being there. "Oh, this is my brother. Something weird's going to happen." And out comes his mother and say, "Oh, your marriage is doomed and cursed and do." That's always pleasant, right? So there's a big announcement on the radio, which this is all very historically inaccurate. This is not how it happened, but okay. So it turns out the man grandmother's marrying has a Hindu name, not Muslim, right? But okay, fine. I don't know what the significance of this is, right? He's got Muslim name. Vinay Patel knows, so it's not important. Right, I guess. They're setting up a problem with no explanation of what the problem is. Yeah, okay, so I thought he was Muslim. Or is he Hindu? I don't understand. No, he's Hindu, she's Muslim, right? Right? And again, this wasn't set up clearly at all because it didn't matter. All that mattered was to be able to wag your finger at the white man. So yeah, he's Hindu and she's Muslim, right? Fine. So Yes, insists on staying, right? The doctor just makes a face and says, "Oh, I gotta stay and find out what's going on. Oh, I gotta stay." And the doctor's like, "Yeah," makes a face, and lets her. Says, "Oh, how can you say that? Oh, okay, fine, right." And off they stay. And then she goes to make more faces. So they announced the partition on the radio, and the doctor is amazed at what she stumbled in on. Right? She's big party history. Eki thought we just happened to be here. Well, it's just such contrived writing, right? Because nothing really matters, right? It's another boring drag episode starting with it. You're absolutely right? But it's just, don't let the it being boring ignore distract you from the technical poorness of it, which is deep, right? It's really, really, very, very poor. So we don't really like. If this was a David Tennant episode, or it's trying to explain the what the partition was, the doctor would have explained it. But they don't want to give two sides of the story, right? That's the thing. And so because they don't want to give two sides of the story, everything's got to be implied. You don't know what's going on, right? Because they can't give two sides of the story. And the two sides of the story is that you had Hindus and Muslims murdering each other, right? And they weren't peaceful people who coexisted in harmony. This has been going on for years. You had Hindus and Muslims killing each other, right? Yes, it got exacerbated by the partition plan massively, and millions of people were killed because I agree with you. But don't pretend there wasn't a problem there that precipitated it. It reminds me of... what was that tragedy in the football state? Is it Hillsborough? Hillsborough was a tragedy. I think was that the one that burnt down. I'm thinking of the one where people were like hundreds of people were crushed to death. Horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It was like because you have these like metal grates that people have to push up against, right? And it was so full, people kept coming in. They killed the people at the front. They got crushed to death. They couldn't get them. It was absolutely terrible. Right, and so during the inquiry, says, "Why did you open this gate that let them in?" Says, "If we didn't open this gate that caused them to flood in, they would have been crushed to death right there." Right? It would, it would have happened. That was Hillsborough. There was 96 deaths. It was horrible, right? But like it was either going to happen there or there. It's same thing here. It was. There was this real problem. They're trying to pretend it didn't exist. And the reason they haven't explained the problem, again, because they don't want to explain it clearly. They don't explain both sides, right? They don't want to explain, they don't want to negatively, look at brown people negatively, which they end up doing anyway. They break every rule they set up for themselves because they're morons, right? Basically, they're absolute morons. So fine, he's announcing the politicians. So fine, these are Hindus, not Muslims. Fine. So and they're like, oh, and she's Muslim, right? And it's like, oh no, it's just like, oh, he's setting up the border, right? So the doctor runs to the and says, "It's the partition of India." He says, says all these riots are coming, millions of displaced, thousands of deaths. Why? Why is this happening? I have no idea. Like, why? Just explain, but you don't want to explain it. Right. So the younger brothers are really into this border, setting up the border, and there being a Pakistan and an India. So India's going to be Hindu and Pakistan will be Muslim, I think. Right. But it's not really explained. And he's like, "Oh, we can't separate our friends now." Now, isn't it, if he marries her, doesn't she become kosher at that point, right? Or is there lands on either side of the partition, right? Is that what's going on? But anyway, the kid's a big nationalist. He's into it. Again, not explaining it whatsoever. So he said Pakistan is for Muslims and India's for Hindus. Muslims should be in Pakistan. And again, I don't know the significance of of anything, right? I really don't understand this. They're like, look, seeing the fight going on, and the doctor goes, "Oh, Icky Thump, that hurts!" And suddenly these aliens show what? These aliens just show up out of nowhere. It's like, oh, what's going? And says, oh, I see alien, and then boom, they're there. Like, what's going on? And she scans, and she's so crap. Look what she is with the sonic screwdriver. Like, she doesn't. It looks like a wand, right? It doesn't look like a tool. And they're like, oh, demons are here. And they're like, oh, the wedding must be cursed. The wedding must be cursed. The religion tolerance between Muslims and Hindus, and nothing to do with the British. Yes, says Robert Pay. Thank you. I mean, yeah, it was there. So she reads them and goes, oh, Icky Thump, what's going on? So the doctor chases after them and goes, oh, and then she finds them by the holy man who's dead, and they're like getting this purple stuff on, and she goes, oh, it hurts, oh, Icky Thump, it hurts, and this guy. So this guy's name is Prin or something. So she's Breen and he's Preen. So Breen shoots at them, and whoa, they fly away. They're like, oh, what's going on? And of course the doctor is like, oh, what's this? I don't understand. Oh, Icky Thump, she has no idea what's going on. And they're like, oh, they must have killed them. Oh, they're the worst ever. I was trying to decide whether or not to watch this this review or not. Right, before I did it, I decided not to, because I didn't want to become too influenced. But thank you for posting that. Right now I see this. I want to watch that so I can plug this in. So yeah, Doctor of course has no idea what's going on, and this guy like, well, what is this? And he's like, I've seen them before. And you get a flashback to some war, and you have no idea what's going on, like what war this is, like, because nothing matters. And they're like, oh, you got to tell, and they start badgering him, right? They start like, oh, you got to tell us, it might be important. And he's like, I don't, like, you're a weird woman. And so they see this purple stuff on him, it floats away. They said, hey, Doc, what's that? We don't know what's going on. And the doctor's like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Oh, I've never seen this before. Look, again, this is this doctor, right? This is the Whittaker doctor. Right, exactly. That's certainly going to be on the slide. Yeah, I mean, why do they think this was a good idea, right? But again, plays a part like this, and also has no idea what's going on, right? No clue. I mean, like, oh, it's all weird. I'm like, what the hell? And she's like, oh, you got to tell us what's going on. It might be important, right? Might be important. Go to the next slide, which is doink. There you go. Let me get rid of the old slide. There you go. Good. She scans around for stuff. Says, "Oh, we got to go hunting for them." And the Indian guy said, "Oh, I'm coming with you, right? Coming with you." So he scans and scans, and again, she sonic screwdriver. No, it doesn't bother her. But it's just, I don't know. Who cares? Crazy woman. Yeah, nothing's weird about this whatsoever. Like, nobody stops saying this is a bit strange. Grant Godwin is here. How are you doing, sir? Godwisen, I should say. And she goes, "Oh, Icky Thump, what's that over there?" And they find this hatch, and so they go and go and look at it. Was it so? So yeah, so they have some insane language about like dialogue about the doctor awarding points and stuff. Yeah, I was giving points to this. So again, because the groom insists on coming with her, she caves instantly, right? So they're walking through the forest, and they keep talking about the partition again, right? As if they want, as if you know what it is, and I don't. Right, during this whole thing, they have a whole speech. And I want to be educated. Like, tell me what it is, but they don't. They just preach that the British are bad. Oh, white people, we've had enough of you here. There's no education. It's at all. So they find it, and she scans it, goes, ooh, and then all of a sudden, they go, it's a really stupid effect. They teleport in, but it's by zooming out. Whoa! We zoom out and we zoom, it's like, and they're inside. So, so the Whittaker is like now scared. She has no idea where she is, and she keeps playing the doctor like she's scared, right? And we have seen nothing heroic from this character whatsoever. It's like, we will just keep on the side. Keep on your toes. You never know what. So she's going around and she's trying to work out what's going on. She finally turns something on, and she works out what they are. Right. What was it? She says they're Figarians, right, or something like that. She's never met them before, of course not, because she's a moron. But they're an ancient species and the world's deadliest assassins. I mean, the universe, it's just stupid, right? Oh, the deadliest assassins ever. But she has no idea what they are or what they do. And she sees that they scan somehow the holy man's face. And they're trying to work out what's going on. And she has no clue. Right, and says, "Oh, you got to tell us about when you saw them. It might be," and she browbeats him. Right, she said, "You got to tell me this. Oh, you have to." Right, and he says it was in Singapore during the war. What's war? What's sick? Like, give me something. I have no clue what's going on. No, you're supposed to know. Singapore War, and he saw them. They're over his brother. Right, he goes to his brother, and he was like, "Oh no," and. His brother, he's looking for Canal, right? We don't know his brother. He's looking for Canal. Who's Canal? It turns out it was his brother. Like, okay. So yes, and he takes a little, I think, whatever that is, Hindu thing, I guess, and runs off home with it. And now he's still got it. And she looks around, and then she opens this thing up. Said, "Oh look, I found it." And again, she has no clue what's going on, no clue who they are, no clue what anything is. Right? Doesn't really care. She said, "Oh, I'm going to take that." And she said, and all of a sudden, and then it sets sort of an alarm. Said, "Oh, I was in pressure. I should have thought about it." Right? She doesn't think about anything, and and they turn up. And they're saying, "You have desecrated the hive," right? You have desecrated. That doesn't sound good. Like, you don't desecrate something. And she's, "Oh, awfully keen. I should have thought about that," because she's a moron. And so she says, "You have desecrated the hive." And then she's like, "No, actually," and first they like melt her head, right? And said, "Oh, no, actually, you've desecrated this planet by being here and they're under my protection. Oh, Icky Thumb, I'm going to stomp my little feet," right? And she sounds like a moron because she has no idea what's going on, right? She has absolutely no idea what's going on. Said, watch. And he said, you can't stop. You can't stop what's coming. She said, Icky Thumb, watch me. And she sonic screwdrivers, and whoop, they're out. All right, they get out, and she's like, "Oh, Icky Thumb, run, everybody!" Oh, and she can, like a moron, like a terrified, chattering moron, right? Zero clue what's going on. She just made a bunch of assumptions. So they go running. Oh, run away, and they get zapped away somewhere. Like, "Oh, Icky Thumb, I didn't expect that." And then again, she's always like, "Oh, how?" Again, this is her. I didn't make this up. This is the express. This is her acting choices. Yes. Oh, and it's like, and she said they got these things that teleport. I don't know what they are. They're called, what was it? Remote teleportation things. I don't know. I said, "Oh, very clever." And you know what else? They're very confiscated. And she said, "What authority? She's stealing their stuff. She's broken into their ship. She's desecrated the hive, right? Done so. She has no clue what's going on. She's stolen stuff, and now she's like, "Hey, I've confiscated that," right? And off she runs, right? And somewhere else, Ryan and what's her name appear. "Hey, what happened?" "I don't know." She takes more, right? And they back at the barn, Yaz and Graham break the news about the holy man's death. The woman says, Yaz's Nan's family, whatever, is cursed. They're cursed because they accursed wedding, marrying a Muslim. Oh, icky thump, right? This is not, we shouldn't be doing this wedding. And then what's going on? Because the founders curse because of the wedding. They rant a bit about the partition and says still wants to marry a Hindu or Muslim. I don't know what the hell. Was it common at all to have Hindus marrying Muslims and Muslims marrying Hindus? I don't think so. It doesn't. If you have gangs of them like murdering each other, it feels like something they wouldn't be doing so much, right? It feels like something they wouldn't be doing so often. But I don't know, right? I don't know because they haven't educated me in any way, shape, or form, right? So anyway, so Yaz is outside. She's all concerned, and Greg, we have a genuine doctor moment, right? And it's this moment is like, look, yes, this is we got to live in the moment, and he uplifts her, and he's like the doc. Look at this, he's actually like the Doctor. He feels it is like the Troughton moment in Tomb of the Cybermen, right, when he's talking to Victoria about you got to keep them in your heart. They're still alive, and it's like it really works. And suddenly they hear right, oh, Icky Thorpe, we've lost the Doctor. Yeah, we've lost the Doctor. So they go running. Oh, run away, everyone! We don't know what Doctor is. And then the Doctor says, "Keep running! Oh, Icky Thorpe, keep running!" And she puts one of those things down and puts another on there. Here, we'll put it there. And then it's like, "Ow, that hurts." The bad people are coming. So it just, he thought that stay back, she says, and then these aliens are here trying to get their property, clearly sacred property, that this idiot has stolen, right? Again, why did they write it like this, right? And if you weren't a moron, if she wasn't a total moron, she would have noticed the aliens haven't actually done anything aggressive. Right? It's all been bad communication. If you weren't a moron, you would have realized that. But she is a moron. Oh, these are the most deadly assassins in the whole universe, Icky Thump. And they say, you're disrupting her work, stop, or they will be standing over your corpses. Right? And yes, that sounds threatening, but they're not saying she's just stupid. Right? And she's like, she explains, again, gives away a plan for some reason because she's a moron. She explains that she's using the transmat thing as the same way they did. Again, a defensive weapon that just teleports people away when they come close. Isn't that a sign they're not deadly? I'm going to use it on you. And it turns it on and they get teleported out. I said, okay, you got between 12 and 18 hours, right? 12 and 18 hours. And then you got to get married at that time. Okay, wait a minute. Stop. She knows... she knows that's not Yaz's grandfather, right? She knows it's not Yaz's grandfather. They saw the picture at the beginning. It's not Yaz's grandfather. Something totally different, right? So, therefore, if she marries him, Yaz will cease to be, right? Yaz will cease to exist. And she's like, oh, you got to get married. And she's just like, love is love. Oh, you got to get married. And then... so this, there will be, so if we don't do this, she's like, you've got to get married right now. You only got 12 hours after they're coming back. And then she has this weird conversation with Yaz. If they don't get married, there'll be no Yaz. I can't live in a world with no Yaz. Oh, Icky Thump. But if they do get married, this is poorly written garbage, right? It's poorly written garbage. So the Doctor says that she's interfering now because the alien assassins have started it, and they're not. When he says, "Why you said we shouldn't interfere?" She doesn't know they're assassins, and if she doesn't, there'll be no Yaz. Again, very, very badly written, because it makes no sense whatsoever. So she's, again, this thing is sacred, they said. You have desecrated the hive when she stole it. She opens it up and says, oh, yeah, she does know what's inside it, right? No idea what's inside it. It tells everybody, don't breathe in too deeply. What the hell? Yeah, like, what if it's anthrax? I mean, I don't know. And she goes and tries to read it, and it blows up a sonic screwdriver, right? Sorts out a sonic screwdriver, much like my freezer does whenever we turn on. Oh, the guy hasn't showed up. I just realized that's good news. Said, oh, I don't understand. It's too dense. And then, oh God, this is so stupid, right? This is a moron's view of science. It really is. Says, oh, you know what I need now? I need some oil, some water, some tree bark, a saucepan, 9 containers, an old newspaper, a touch of ox spit, and a chicken poo, and a biscuit. Right? Turns out the biscuit is good. Oh, I like biscuits. It's not, if you have never shown any authority ever, it doesn't work to be quirky. Right? It doesn't work to be quirky at all. Right? It's again the technical what's the word I'm looking for? Just on a technical level, the writing is abysmal. But again, it's not interested in educating whatsoever. It has all it wants to do is you have to come into it knowing the person's worldview and nod at him about how right he is, right? That's what Vinny Patel wants, right? Yeah, that's good. So, so it's a morals view of science, of course, right? So then they're like, okay, well, this is going to be a few hours to that will do what a sonic screwdriver can't. And she set up science. Oh, I keep up, right? I've been sciencing it. It doesn't make any sense. So then they got to have their pre-wedding celebration, and she's Muslim or Hindu, I can't remember, but these things are scanning, going, whoop. And so I said, oh, this is the best thing ever. This never happened when I was a man. It's just such terrible, terrible writing. What's that? Probably saying, at Vijay Kaur, would you be up for a stream with Tzvi Lebetkin? Oh, I would always like a stream with anybody. I guess, not done it before. Well, you're always welcome. You are always welcome. Just let me know. Just let me know. So yeah, she said, "Oh, I'm not a man. I haven't done this. I never did this when I was a man." And they all gave her like funny looks and he's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And yeah, it's like, "Oh, doctor, you and your funny jokes. Oh, I keep up." So yeah, it's just very badly honest. So they paint this picture of racial harmony that existed before the partition, right? It was like, oh, we all just loved each other. We all were all so close, and the partition came. White men made a line across our. They all speak with Sheffield accents. It's weird, actually. I just realised that. And now we're going to kill each other because of it, because we weren't killing each other before. No, that never happened. That never happened at all. Right? Let me go for the next file. Doink. Fine. His mom said, you can't get married. You don't even have a priest anymore. Like it's going to be. I said, oh, the doctor can do it. She's a doctor, right? She's a doctor. Oh, you're the Hindu lady who made. I deliberately did not watch your review because I didn't want to be. Because I would just regurgitate it, right? I am excited to listen to it now I've done it, but if I watch a review, it would have just dominated my entire thought process. But yeah, listen, I've heard so many great things about it. I'm so excited to listen to it. I think I did listen to it one time, but I have to listen to it again, right? I have to listen again. So yeah, doctor can do it because she's a doctor, right? She's a doctor. Okay, I guess. So then, meanwhile, on the other side, they have what's her name? Preem. She's Brim, and he's Prim. I mean, like, why not have more distinctly different names? So he's with Manish and the boys, and there are massive racial tensions, right? It sounds like the whole thing's a power cake about to go up, and the wedding could end up with them both being killed because of it, right? That's how it sounds to me, right? That's how it sounds. It doesn't sound like this is like a mellow time but like no, we're gonna do this anyway because it's just gonna work out well, right? Nothing bad can come of this. And again, Graham is quite doctory throughout the whole thing, which is really bizarre, right? It's really, really bizarre. So the doctor goes and as this conversation goes on, saying, "Oh, what if they get married? Then I won't exist." I mean, Yaz gets it. She says, "If they get married, then I won't exist." And the doctor's getting them married. And meanwhile, she's like looking at the stuff that was in it. It says, "Oh, it's got a billion different DNA in it, a billion different a billion different species." Oh, I keep up. And she's like, "Well, what could it possibly mean?" Then that starts to like shake and turn different colors, and then they've broken in because I told them my plan, right? And she grabs it, and they grab her, and they take her back to the ship. Oh, and the doctor, oh no! So now we get this really excruciating info. Again, very technically poorly written, right? So it turns out, first he does a bit of a gloat at them. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop my little fears. And you keep up. And they're like, no, we're not assassins. Like, yes, you are. I know everything about you. No, we're really not. Like, we're witnesses. You what? No, we witnessed. You see, we were out assassinating, and then we came home and everybody was dead. They died without us seeing, so we witnessed them. So then we just go and witness other people dying. Right, we witness people everywhere. That's our job. We're death witnesses. Yay! So why are you here now? Because the partition, about 14 million people about to be slaughtered. We've what? Did you just come from the concentration camps? I mean, because you could have picked up a few there as well. But no. We came to a partition, right? And they said we're here to witness. This guy's death, because apparently they're like Santa Claus, right? Santa Claus can visit everybody in one night. They can witness everybody's death, right? As long as they won't notice when they die. But I think they were noticed. Okay, so it's so sad, but he's gonna die. But again, if they get married, Jed doesn't exist. Remember? No, she hasn't worked out yet because she's too stupid. I literally this was what they wrote. So doctor comes back. Whoa, I keep up. I'm back. Here by God. And she said, I was wrong about everything. We know, darling. We know you're wrong about everything. Okay. Prim's gonna die. I said, "Oh no, he's gonna die." Well, of course he's gonna fucking die. We've had the whole episode. We've been talking about that. He dies today. They should go if yes, yes, she might not exist. So everybody apart from the doctor already knew this for most of the episode, right? So he says, that's why she never told me. Her husband died on her wedding day. She won't want to remember. She won't want to go out. That's why. Now I've pried into her intimate secrets of her life. Says, okay, we can stay, but we can't tell them anything, right? We can't tell them anything. And again, it's awesome Graham doctory bit, right? It's really bizarre because he really feels very doctory in this bit. He's like, he knows he's only got a few hours to live, and he's like, you're a good person, you live to live for the moment. It's just stupid. He inspires for him. He hugs him. He tells him he's like, doing great. But he's very doctorish, right? And he's very strong. And he's really inspiring. Great job, right? Great job. One second. So I just got to think. One second. Yeah, they're going to plug the thing in a minute. Here, let me just stop and tell my wife. Hang on. If the repairman is coming in, Here, 1 second. Hello. Yeah, listen, you can do that, but it will go in 10 minutes, and I need you to flick the switch back up, right? So it's if you want to plug it in, that's fine. Just you need to be around to flick the switch back up. Thank you very much. There you go. Fine. So wait. So he's yeah. So Graham is essentially the doctor. So then, so agonizing, right? They have the ceremony. Oh man, it's so vomit in your own mouth, right? It's really they decide to have it at the border. It says, "Oh, I'll be the first woman married in Pakistan, and I'll be Muslim." I can't remember which one's on what side. I don't remember because they didn't explain it properly because they don't give a damn. Because I think they wanted to keep it ambiguous so they could heavily intimate, right? That's exactly what I think they were doing. So she's so she doesn't know how to. Oh yeah, she gives a speech. She says, "My faith is love." Let me go back for this. My faith is love. Yeah. God, look at her expressions. Okay, my faith is love. It's in all its forms. I love love in all its forms. Really, you like a bit of incest, do you? You're okay with that? A bit of child molestation? Well, you like the grooming, right? I mean, that's that. Since this was made, it's come out that the LGBTQ plus agenda includes grooming, right? It's not me, it's you. It's the most powerful weapon we have because love in all its form is a form of hope, and for a light hope, love abides. He's going to die in a few hours. He doesn't abide, right? He doesn't abide. And it's just they think they're right and split, and it's not. It's terrible. Oh, that's the flower he gives. She gives the other granddaughter at the beginning, right? I think. And it says, "Well, how do we?" Actually, I don't know how to concrete this. It says, "Okay, so do this," and they bind the hands. It's a Hindu tradition, not Muslim. And then in their wedding feast, she talks about manage how great he is. How he helped them through their the drought. And I'm proud to be your neighbor now. I'm proud to be your wife, your sister-in-law. You fed me, let me feed you. And he's like, no, I didn't do it for you. Oh, I did it for me. And he's like, yeah, okay. You shouldn't be here. And he's like, and the doctor says, oh, I'll go after him. Why you? You're the absolute worst person to go after him, right? You're the absolute worst person to go after him. You're just a moron, right? You have a mouth like you are. The day you, as if I may quote Red Dwarf, the day you worked on the suicide hotline, they called it Lemming Sunday, right? So then, where are we at? So they continue to say, okay, we did a Hindu thing, we'll do a Muslim thing. She gives them the watch and says, this is yours forever. And I think he drops it, smash. Really? And he says, no, it's perfect. He said, this is cursed. He says, no, it's perfect. We're frozen our moment in time. So we know how that's made now, okay? Meanwhile, the doctor confronts and says, is that the gun you killed the holy man with? Said, how'd you know that? Oh, you shouldn't be here. You better get out of here, allies. You're going to be in trouble. I said, what did he do? He said, firstly, he wasn't a holy man if he'll do that wedding. Oh, no. And he's called the people in who, weirdly enough, they're not white people. But white people obviously manipulate them because the white people are bad, right? Nobody, if they are slightly brown, has any responsibility for their own actions. They said, "Oh, we got to get out here. They're going to kill you all." So why is she warning him? If he lives, then Yaz doesn't live, right? If he survives, Yaz doesn't live. He's like, so he sends her away to get stuff from her house. Said, "You got to run. They're going to take surely because they're married. She's grandfathered in." Anyway, while they're at her house, she noticed that she's Mark Sheffield. Said, "Oh yeah, that's my father's old map. I put my finger on it randomly and said, oh, I'm going to go there, and I landed on Sheffield. It sounds so exotic. Oh, Ecky Thump." So he said, "Really? That's how you end up in Sheffield? Okay, that's interesting." So let me go to the next file. And there we go. So yeah, so he's arriving with the bad people now, and they say, "Oh, you shouldn't be here. Muslims for Muslims, Hindus for Hindus." I don't bloody know. They don't even say that, right? And he says, "Oh, you got to run. I'll hold them off." And he says, "Oh, I'll stay with you." No, I must face these demons on my own. So he goes off and faces the real demons of the Punjab, not the alien-y people. These are the real demons. The Inhuman Man, and the doctor runs like a girl. And they stop and they watch as he's like, "Oh, we were all friends. Why must be fine? Oh, Eki Thorpe. Oh, why?" And he says, "Oh, because," and again, I don't even know if he's Hindu or Muslim. I can't bloody remember because they haven't explained it, and they haven't, because they don't care, right? They just want to say big tragedy happened by white people. Oh no, even whatever. So he's very brave. He's stunning and brave, and he's shot. And then they show up and they witness, and they go, "Oh, we're gonna." Oh no, they're not. He's not. "Oh, I'm not dead yet. Get back on the cart." And then they add him to their collection of billions of people. Their witness die, and we go to the TARDIS, and they say, "Oh, that's why this all happened." Oh. That's why everything happened. And then he goes and visits her grandmother and says, "Oh, you're the bestest ever." Yes, "Oh, you're the bestest ever. Do you want to know why about the watches?" "No, I don't need to know, but I've lived a very happy life." "Oh," he thought, "I'm so happy. I lived in Sheffield. Oh, I was happy with the husband," and on, and it's over. Thank God. Oh God. Oh God, it's so awful. It's so unbearably awful. Again, a complete, there's so many problems in the script just on a technical level. It doesn't explain the problem. It doesn't explain what's going on. It just is grievance, right? It's just grievance, right? It's grievance porn. And it's aged very badly, right? It ages much like most of the Jodie Whittaker era. Okay, fine. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.